Hey everybody, it's Antlers here with Fireside Casts. I'm here joined today only by my production, lead champion, some would say, Resin. I wish I could ask you how you're doing so I could play off of you, honestly, but that's okay. We're here today with the TF2CC Newbie Cup 12. This is Group Stage Day 2. Round 3, and we're going to be watching today specifically evil ass Bikini Bottom Crips versus Walk 'em Down and Teach 'em. So we're already doing a great thing here today, I think. With that, I actually don't know exactly too much about these teams or their records, so I wish I could, lay into that a little bit more. Straight up casting it fireside style, absolutely. So with that, I think we are giving the team ready to go ahead and get started right now. Yeah, teams are ready and up. We're good to go. And we're just gonna head straight into this. With this, I can open up a prediction probably, don't you think? Oh, no, never mind. We're launching the game right now. It's too late. No gambling for you tonight. With this, I'm gonna be watching Mr. Headroom, or MX Headroom, I should say. I'm sorry, didn't mean to misgender. As we're going to be walking across the mids here, looks like they get a little bit there early, as standard control gets taken in the houses as well, specifically the left house for the red team. Red team seems to be taking a lot of control across the front as Mr. Homo Thug going down to Cuckle first. And it looks like blue is actually giving up a lot of ground here, so they're going to be capturing on the side of red, and we're going to continue. Oh wait, we have eggs behind right now. He does get caught out after he kills Geet, but I don't think that's gonna really lead to too much other than a slight delay on the side of blue, waiting for their scout to come back up and get a buff. Honestly, for those watching it out there back at home, generally those trades are not considered a good decision because of how quickly blue team will respond. With that, it looks like we're gonna be pushing out the left door here. MX Headroom really taking down a lot of space, but it looks like TNT is still holding on to the Uber. With this, the Uber does get forced out on the side of Hello There Friend, as he does get traded out. Red's losing a lot of players here. Their medic goes down. This is actually really bad. 2 scouts remaining in the fight, with MX Headroom just respawning. 1 scout gets taken out. Eggs is the only one left remaining. Does take down Don Fettuccini, but it looks like he's going to get traded out for those troubles as well. And there he goes. With this, it's Blue's capture again. They did delay their demo man's death a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be really too much to worry about. Refight's starting to take positioning here. We see soldiers trying to take some high ground. Capture's going on pretty quick. And it's actually a complete capture handoff. It wasn't really contested that much. It's really interesting. With that, from there, we see the return of Don Fettuccini as the demo man for red team does go down. Traded out with Scarlet Mew. We're not seeing too much other than a little bit of fighting in the left house here too. It looks like it's a trade for both teams. Kind of a wash. As Puckle takes down Homo Thug on the right side. The last 1v1 is happening right now with Eggs as he does back away, giving the point capture back up to the blue team. And there we go. So it's kind of our little emotional reset. You love to see a lot of Bagel action happening right now. But this is how fast paced it gets. So we should hopefully be seeing blue team get a little bit more of a forward hold. But it looks like Eggs just walks in and clears their demo. So maybe not. Maybe I was wrong about that. With that, it's just TNT, and TNT does pop the Uber on his scout. Looks like we're not going to see too much commitment with that, given that it's just them and their Scarlet Mew up. As Happy as Taco does go down in the background, Scarlet Mew does die as well. Seeing a nice shot in the chat, so maybe I missed something. That's no good. We're going to see a little bit of a forward hold here. Both scouts holding down left side with the demo, as we see a soldier passive holding right side. Eggs does go in deep again. I'm gonna pick up a little pattern there in a little second there from Eggs. As we are waiting around, Happiest Taco still is down from his sack, but this is a pause. So I'm gonna take some time to catch up with what's going on here. and everything, because this has been too fast paced for me. I'll tell you that much. With this, I'm seeing a lot of aggression coming in on the left hand side. It looks like I'm about to see Scarlet Mew eat a pipe. I'm not totally sure if that's going to connect or not. And then with that, we're going to also be seeing the rest of the scout and combo from blue team push through. Let's walk them down and teach them for everyone sitting at home. Just listen to the radio. And yeah, this is a really interesting position because normally you'd want to see Bikini Bottom Crips Medic kind of centered in this position, because otherwise Headroom is going to be completely on their own here. That's no good. That's really bad. He's going to get walked down. It looks like... Never mind. Headroom doesn't need the help. That's a 3K. TNT is walking it back right now. Ubers are still even for everybody. So we're just going to see the continuation of the forward hold here coming down from Walk 'em Down. Not from Walk 'em Down, from Bikini Bottom Crib. And it looks like this is going to be a repush coming in from Walk 'em Down and Teach 'em. The Don Fettuccine stickies are coming through right now. It looks like we're still getting a lot of double spam, which is really causing a problem for these players. We're seeing, Happiest Taco getting a pick on eggs again. And with that, it looks like we are still watching this, but Mr. Homo Thug does get in through the left house as he is trying to flank around the entire backlines. He is spotted. Not sure what else he can really do in this situation. He does see the medic. He gets the force out on Dodoru. Dodoru, I'm sorry. He does trade it for his life, but that's an amazing trade when your team is pushing out on Disad. With this, we're seeing Geet try to take some position on the point here, but he steps off, and that's the first round on the side of evil-ass Bikini Bottom Crip. Crips, plural. That's my fault. Yeah. Okay, so just, again, for those at home, Crips, plural. This is not just singular Crip. We're going to be watching... I'm going to be watching Don Fettuccine roll out this time, but he is a lot slower than his counterpart with Headroom. That being said, doesn't really deter him, though. There's still a lot of fighting going on between the Scout and Soldier. Mr. Homo Thug does end up getting put down at the end of that all. But with this, we're starting to see kind of just, poking around from both sides as nobody is really committing. Geet is trying to commit to the point. With that, he's not quite getting the capture yet. I think Red Team is barely, dissuading him from continuing to stay here. But Puckle does go down. A lot of spacing being taken by Happy Taco. Don Fettuccine does end up trading with Spaghettius. Funny, coincidences there. Hello there, friend does go down, and it looks like despite an Uber coming out from Dadaru, it's not much going to happen there from the side of Bikini Bottom Crip. But Dadaru does go down, and now Puckle is the most forward person alive on their team, still in their spawn. So with this, that's another decisive walk him down and teach him mid, but I don't know. Last time they weren't able to hold on to it the same way this time. But as well, we're seeing a lot more of a standardized hold. Don Fettuccine taking space. It looks like we're going to see a lot of spam coming in from the soldiers of walking down and teach him here, as one scout does get out, but he does trade pretty early on. That's eggs for everyone on the radio podcast. With this, the left side push is coming out. Hello, the friend does go down to the trips. It looks like there's so much damage being taken place that he's really able to make it out relatively safely for the rest of the team, at least. Happiest Taco is behind. Eggs is fighting in their spawn with him, but it looks like Happiest Taco does go down. And Don Fettuccine also does barely survive at 4 HP. That's incredible. Yeah, Don Fettuccine and Spaghettius are the two names that I love to see going against each other. With that, we're seeing a little bit of aggression here coming through the right house again. Eggs is back on the medic. He drops the medic. Oh my god, an eggs push. Let's go. Alright, with this, that should be a pretty good push from the side of Evil Ass Bikini Bottom Crips, as Headroom is taking a 1v1 with Don Fettuccine. Happy Taco is in the backline. He does kill Dadaru. Not quite a drop from what I'm tracking, but That's still a really bad capture because now you're delaying your medic as well, which is not good for anybody. Except for, you know, the enemy team, of course, that's why they did that. So, with this, we're gonna see kind of like a neutered Fourthwall. Eggs is actually hiding. Get on the Eggs cam real quick. He's gonna get the medic. He's lucky. Let's see, he's going in for the kill. He does get spotted out. Geet ends up getting him before Eggs is able to pull off another medic drop. Seeing a lot of very aggressive plays coming in from Eggs. I'm hoping he's already discussed that with his team ahead of time about his very aggressive play style. With that, we're going to see a little bit more of a forward hold. It looks like blue team does have a 40% Uber advantage, so they're going to be pushing in relatively easily as red does give up some space. Headroom goes down as well. That's a continuation of bad luck. But Dadu does hit a good serve. Eggs and Puck will end up trading. And hello there, friend. And Dadu does go down as well. The only person left stopping the point is Eggs and from Spaghettius, who is putting out a lot of damage, but he doesn't end up getting anything at the end of it all. Eggs does pick up TNT though. I don't know exactly what I'm supposed to be able to catch in that situation. That's crazy. There's so much going on. Yeah, alas. Anyway, we're gonna be seeing a lot of spam being traded out as there's a 1 minute difference between the two teams. Eggs does pick up Mr. Homo Thug, and while there's a lot of spam going down, it's not really doing too much. I'd love to see an aggressive soldier play here. Maybe if you know, Ubered or at least buffed one of your soldiers coming in. It's still a 40% advantage, so I think their building strategy is going to work out better for them, but they're still sacking in two of their players right now, and now Spaghettius as well going down just as red team gets their Uber. That's just no good timing. 24 seconds left on the side of walking down and teach them. As they do Uber, looks like they're going to be Ubering in Headroom, who comes in on the side on his own. Daru isn't really able to catch up to him in time, so he does get killed as well. And this looks like a really poorly timed Uber from the side of Evil Ass Bikini Bottom Crips, as they do wipe, and that is the round. It's now 1-1 on the Bagel. With this, we're going to be going into round number 3. I'm going to go back to the Headroom cam, I think. And we're going to be watching as Headroom does go through the normal rollout. I want to see any exclamation mark Mumas coming down from Dada Fettuccini. Some early sticky spam coming down from both sides here. Not really amounting to too much. Mr. Homothug does get aggressive and does go down. Scarlet Mew gets caught up in the side house. And with this, the side of walking down teaching might have to back it up a little bit if they want to keep their players. Not seeing too much action going down otherwise, as they do give up that space as they wait for their respawners. Ubers are still even, 75% each. Happiest Taco does end up getting killed and picked off by Eggs. With that though, the rest of the team is coming through to the side of ramp, and so we're going to see some spam being traded out there, while everyone else is kind of, you know, waiting for something to happen. We're seeing a little bit of scout aggression coming in from Eggs, you know, as to be expected. And there we go. That should be, you know, a little bit of a relaxation moment, I would say, if the scouts weren't so aggressive. Eggs is trying to come in through the back line. He's in a 1v1, but Mr. Homothug does pull through. And with that, that might be what they need to push this point. With this, the Uber does come out on the side of blue through ramp, and despite the Uber coming through, it is traded, and not a lot of damage coming down. Geet does go down, Happiest Taco does go down. TNT gets caught off post-Uber. And with this, it's just Scarlet Mew and Don Fettuccini, who is still rolling forward. But I think he's going to be reneging on that decision and backing up to his team, which is a good choice in my opinion. With that, Eggs is still fighting Mr. Homothug on a rematch. Doesn't go his way, unfortunately, as we're going to be watching again as blue team tries to push out with only Eggs. But that's okay, because they'll take down Don Fettuccini and Jeet. Mr. Homothug and Scarlet Mew do try to pinch in on the rest of this to catch out Dadaru, and they do commit to that. Happiest Taco does pick up Headroom, so this is down a demo and a medic on Bagel, which is no good. Homo Thug does get a kill on Puckle, but Spaghettius does take down him and Happiest Taco. So with this, we're going to be seeing probably some more action going down. Eggs does trade out with Don Fettuccine, which is a good trade, but it's no point capture, I'll tell you that much. So with this, we're going to be seeing teams point around a little bit. They're going to be poking. Geet is getting aggressive on the medic, who does escape Dataru. Mr. Homo Thug now being able to pick off Headroom, and we're going to be caught now in kind of a weird middle ground situation where both teams are now missing their demos as Don Fettuccine is rolling out. But with this, it looks like blue team is back in the cockpit of this, and we're going to be seeing a lot more aggression coming down. Lots of damage being traded on both sides, but only now is Hoppy's tactical committing. He does end up losing his life without a pick. Geet goes down as well, and that's now 2 down, 3 down on the side of walking down to teach him. With this, we now see an Uber popping out from Don Fettuccine. It looks like we are going to be seeing no trade, as Dedu doesn't have his own Uber yet, but I don't know how long that's going to be the case, because Dedu just got his Uber. It does end up getting forced, but TNT goes down at the same time. So, you know, kind of a wash. Crazy damage coming in from Hello There Friend. And it looks like at this point, we're going to see a complete change of pace as Walk 'em Down and Teach 'em sent to the respawn timer. And oh my god, Eggs is back in the hiding spot. He was in similar position recently. He's not going to be probably doing too much, as TNT did walk through the other door. Spam being traded in through the right side. And Eggs is coming down through, gets caught out by Geet though, and does get put down. With this, Eggs now once again down. That's a freer left side push, but Geet does trade without any trade-offs coming in on this push in. Big bomb in from Happiest Taco. Dadaru does go down. We're seeing a lot of soldiers bombs, a lot of demo action, and it looks like Hello There Friend is the only one left on the point. Gets traded, and this might be the 2-minute moment for Walk 'em Down to Teach 'em, as only Eggs is up. But I think even someone as aggressive as Eggs is going to be relaxing in this moment. That's staring down 5 players. That's scary for anybody. Alright, with this, we're going to be watching as Dadaru is going to be building up his Uber. So they should be sending in a sack momentarily here. TNT does have full Uber. It might be that they just build and spawn. And it looks as if that is the case. They're not going to be sending in any sacks. We are watching as TNT does have 100%. This is a complete forward hold. And with this, everything is going to be waiting on who gets through the doors easily. Hello There Friend does go down, but the push is coming through. And this might be less good now, as we are watching the Uber still coming from TNT, but the Uber does get forced from Dadaru as well. So Uber's going to be roughly even. Mr. Homo Thug dancing to save his life, but he does end up getting caught out. But it's still just Puckle and Dadaru. Everyone else is either respawning or rolling out. So it looks like for now at least, Walk 'em Down to Teach 'em is still going to be holding on their line. The Headroom does jump in, but does die there in front of Sticky. Really unfortunate that. And then Eggs is going to be poking in around, see what he can do, but it's not really too much. We're going to be watching now as Happy's Taco bombs in with 2 HP remaining, and this is going to be probably the last big fight that we can expect from this round. With that, we're going to be watching as Dadaru is taking a lot of damage along with the rest of his team. He does get picked off by Happiest Taco, but that is also 2 picks happening from the side of Evil Ass Bikini Bottom Crips, I should say, and they do end up capturing the point on the overtime. And that's where the real up and down is on that one. You can't really guess who's gonna win this. With this, I'm gonna be watching again. I'm gonna be watching Bikini Bottom as they're rolling out. There's a big huddle. Lots of space being taken in the left house early on, but it looks like, ooh, that's an early pick from Scarlet. And Eggs is pushing in. TNT does get the pick super early. Eggs still going on. Headroom and Eggs trading for that fight at the end of the day, but I mean, there's so much damage happening that it's really going to be like a total of 120 HP left on the side of Evil Ass Bikini Bottom Crips. And everyone else is going to be forcing and capturing the point here. Evil Last Beginning from Crips getting the point capture. And now as well a 50% Uber advantage. With this, we're going to be watching as they're going to be opting not to take a forward hold. Don Fettuccini does walk in, and Spaghettius does get caught out for his troubles here. With this, we're going to be watching as Eggs is on the flank again, gets Don Fettuccini, gets TNT, stops the point, and Pontic before dying to Gi, which is totally okay, honestly, that's fine. Happy Sako does get traded out for Eggs' life, but Hello There Friend will fall for that as well. No death going untraded in the eye for the eye that is Team Fortress 2 Bagel. But with this, we are watching as the point was traded off. Only 20 seconds in advantage here for point capture time. And we're going to be watching as some sticky spam is traded out. No real damage happening yet. And as we're watching Red take more space here, he is falling back a little bit on spacing because of his health. But Mr. Homothug is there to take his place. Headroom does go down. And that might be the end of this push, as Ubers are still even, and Red's medic hasn't even shown up yet. Hello There Friend going down, and now Mr. Homothug pushing aggressively into them, 2 scouts and medic. But it's going to be a situation where Red decides to back up. Hopefully they're tracking the even Uber situation, and we are now going to be watching to see how Red breaks this hold. Eggs does go down early. I guess it's the downside of pushing at all times. But the Uber does go out on Headroom. It looks like the Uber does get traded out much later from TNT. And with this, Headroom will be going down with no short notice. Dadaru does get picked off from a flank from Mr. Homothug. And Eggs is now on the flank again, but he hopefully will be backing out. No, he does get caught out as well. So this is now probably about a 20% Uber advantage, maybe 10%, depending on how the building goes down. Not really playable, I think, at a TF2CC level. And now I'm watching, I'm honestly impressed, if I had to say so, about the ability for these teams to do their forward holds. They're still relatively new to the game, but I remember when I was new to the game, this was definitely a point of struggle for me. So this is really something to be commended. Hello There Friend and Eggs trading, getting their kills. But we're not going to be seeing too much action here yet. A lot of action going down in the right house, I should say, right as I say that. As Happy Sako and Scarlet Mew, the soldiers for the side of walking down, going down. The capture point does get traded back to the side of Evil Last Bikini Bottom Crips. But it looks like Blue is still opting. No, Blue is opting to leave. They're removing all their ground. They're backing up into their house. And Hello There Friend is actually might get a pick on Don Fettuccini really late into the game, even Uber situation. So if I were on the side of walking down to each of them, I'd be still waiting for their demo men to come back up. As well as Mr. Homothug, who did end up getting a pick on Puckle, but trading. And the reason I would do this, 100% Uber situation for both teams means that the forward hold with the surviving members is going to be really important. These people still have like a minute time advantage, and also their respawns are going to be faster. So it's going to be really important for them to wait for their players, which they ended up doing. And we're going to be watching now as they're going to be trying to push through the right side. Don Fettuccini does end up getting dropped in the exchange of everything. It looks like Dadaru is holding on to their Uber much longer. And we're going to be seeing how the trades end up playing for this. Eggs does get it, 2 picks, Hello There Friend gets a 3rd. Eggs gets a 4th, but Headroom does die to Mr. Homothug, who picks up Eggs as well. And now it's just Mr. Homothug versus the world. Not too much of a fight there, the world is stronger. And now it's just Don Fettuccini spamming on his respawn timer. And he might get picked out by Hello There Friend. But this is not looking good. That was the Uber fight that would effectively say whether or not they were on even timers or not. And with this, even heals, even everything, we're going to be watching as Blue does push back into the point. Mr. Homothug does take a lot of damage, but he does end up surviving as the rest of his team does cycle in forward. He does get picked up, which means that there's effectively down 2 scouts. And we're going to be watching now as Spaghetti does do a lot of damage here. It looks like damage is not kills. Nothing there was able to be traded out, and TNT does go down. So despite TNT going down and the Uber coming out from Dadaru to try and defend the point, Geet is the only surviving player. He seems to be unspotted. I'm not entirely sure what headroom and puckle we're looking at, but now with the amount of spacing that blue team has, it's going to be next to impossible for their medic to respawn and get back to the point in time. Not to say that the soldiers aren't going to try and stop them anyway. This is the overtime moment, but it looks like with this, Hello There Friend is the only surviving member, and his spam is not going to be enough to stop the point. That being said, Headroom does try to jump in. Very short-lived attempt. Dadaru does make it, but I don't think it's going to be a super lasting fight unless Eggs also steps into the fight now as well. Unfortunately, he does not get to the point fast enough. It is now 2-2. Wow. Alright, let me take a quick drink of water as we're going to be watching the next rollout. Alright. With this, we're watching the next rollout, as Don Fettuccini does hit a faster rollout than last time, at least. It looks like Headroom still does win that timing battle, but with this, Mr. Homothug does get picked off rather early in the fight. We're going to be watching as a lot of left side house space is being taken and trapped up. Spaghetti's might be going down, he does. And we're going to be watching now as Spam continues to go across, and Scarlet Mew might get picked off, but Puckle does end up picking up Geet. Eggs killing Scarlet Mew. Happiest Taco killing Dadaru, which is a big advantage for the Ubers, but TNT is running now away, not healing anybody, as Mr. Homothug and Don Fettuccine go down. This is still a 70% Uber advantage from the side of Walk 'em Down and Teach 'em, but let's see how they do it with Eggs hiding again on flank. Never get one past this guy. He does end up getting spotted, does pick up Mr. Homothug and Don Fettuccine. You know, maybe Eggs is the best player to have ever done it. But that might actually delay the Uber coming out. I don't think it's going to be enough to give Dadaru the Uber that he needs, but it is enough for them to think that they can set up a forward hold, as a lot of damage being taken place in-house. Teams are trying to push through. Headroom is taking a lot of damage. Now, only 50% Uber advantage, as damage is still coming through, spam is being changed and exchanged. Scarlet Mew and Geek go down, but that is the Uber coming out. Now, Dadaru is only at 70% when he dies, and Spaghetti is on top of the point, staring down an entire Ubered player with Eggs coming in on the flank. Let's see if Eggs can pull off another kill. He totally can. I don't even know why I doubt this guy at this point. He's just so aggressive. Like it's catching me off guard as the casting team. So I don't like. He's just maybe the best player to have ever done it. At the end of the day, this is a point defense. Even though Dadaru died and TNT might have died a little bit later, it's still gonna be 10% advantage. But the point still is held from evil ass Bikini Bottom Crips. Eggs coming in on the flank again. Does get shot down. I think it's starting to get a little bit predictable. I think Walk 'em Down, Teach 'em, starting to walk him down and teach Eggs on how to time his flanks a little bit more. At this point though, I can't imagine a reason to not want to at least send in a sack wave or a push. I'm seeing right now no team is really building heavily on either side, as we're seeing a lot of spam be traded out on the ramp room. And still, even then, as I say that, a pause. In the meantime, I'm gonna be answering some questions from chat. Yes, this is not technically Newcomer. This is Team Fortress 2. You know, it's a place to learn Team Fortress 2. It's Team Fortress 2 Coaching Central. So this is more about having a team captain, having a team, you know, background. So you kind of get the ropes before you break into the, you know, RGL circuit in the new year. With that though, we are going to be watching as the game is still paused. Nothing's still going on too crazily. Lots of spam still being traded out. Traps in ramp room from both teams. Not exactly sure how this is going to play out, as both teams are at 95 and 96% Uber respectively. So Just gonna be waiting and seeing how this plays out. And in the meantime, I don't have a person to back off and talk to, so I might just you know, maybe do a hat review. Maybe I'll do a quick little. Ooh, that's got some nice shoes going on for him there. That's Geet for those at home. One who's got the kicks on. Who's got the coolest hat, do you think? I don't know. Dadu's looking pretty swagged out. Like it's got a good like mafia kind of look. Headroom does kind of like a blast room kind of appearance. I don't know if I like respect it. It's kind of it's a set, right? Like you can't hate on a set the same way you can like look at like how people individually put down hats together. I think that's probably the best, is when you put down your own hats. Let's see. Next I'm looking at Spaghettius here. Really classic look. Just the one hat and I think the mutton chops. Oh, he's wearing the Executioner as well, interesting. Yeah, and the MVM badge. Happiest Taco. I'm gonna say probably wearing the creepiest loadout. So that's definitely, yeah, it's definitely an interesting appearance from them. Can I sing you a song? I don't think I can. I have to last a little bit longer here on the microphone. If I start singing, you know, I start screaming, it's gonna be a little bit too crazy. I don't know if you guys are ready for all of that. So with that, I'm gonna keep going on, doing as I do here. Waiting for these teams to unpause and hanging out, I guess, with everyone here in chat. Hey, how's everyone doing? What's going on? Is everyone comfortable at home? Any good beverages being shared? Like, I wish I had more. I wish I had more to go on. Do we have a bracket that we could look at for chat? Can we pull that up for stream? Alright, it's gonna take a second for our production team to set that up. Yeah, it looks like with this the unpause is happening, so never mind. We're not gonna be doing that. We're not gonna be looking at the scoreboard. We're not looking at anything, Shia. So with that, lots of damage coming out on the side of the soldier, but Happiest Taco does get a pick. Dadu does pop his Uber, but it looks like Welcome Down Teach him really just lost almost everybody. My HUD is paused, but I'm only seeing Don Fettuccine and TNT as the only remaining players getting any damage done. Eggs is on TNT again. Eggs getting the pick. And I'm going to do a HUD reload scheme, but it looks like this is a huge decisive win on the side of Evil Ass Bikini Bot Crips, which now have 5 seconds remaining. Everyone's rushing to the point, and that's it. That's the round. Alright. And I don't exactly know how many points this goes to next, but it goes to 4. Okay, that's good for me to know. Because this is going to be the final round if Bikini Bottom Crips wins this next round, which Hello There Friend does get an early pick on Homo Thug. So we'll be seeing how that plays out. And it looks like as much more damage is being taken from the side of Walking Down to Teach him. This is a complete mid-win from the side of Evil Ass Bikini Bottom Crips. Is it a hate crime? Probably not. Eggs is hiding. Look at the Eggs cam one more time, real quick. As Eggs is waiting for the medic to push up. Is he AFK? No, he's coming back in. He just took a second. TNT, watch out. As he does get the pick again. There's no way. Eggs getting another crazy pick, 5v1. You know, maybe he is the best. Maybe when I was talking smack earlier, I was the one who was wrong. With that though, we are watching as the rest of the blue team does have to back up. That is going to be a little bit more of an Uber advantage from the side of Dadaru, of which I don't actually know the full amount. It's 100% from the side of Dadaru. So with this, we're seeing hopefully a sack wave come in. Scarlet Mew dies. The rest of the team is really taking their time getting into the kill feed. And Don Fettuccini is going to be the last one to die. The only death on the side of Bikini Bottom Crips is Eggs. But Mr. Homothug does go down even later. Is it a hate crime if I just say Homothug? Do I have to use the honorific, do you think? I don't think. I think because it's his name, it wouldn't be. With this though, we're going to be seeing as Welcome Down Teach 'em does try to take their house back from the spamming soldiers of Spaghettius and Hello There Friend. So, as we're going to be waiting for Molsters to come in, Mr. Homothug does get picked off by a really deep trap coming in from Headroom. Soldier spam still taking in. Looks like Happiest Taco will be getting a pick on Hello There Friend from trading out with Hello There Friend. Eggs does go down in the background, Spaghettius does go back down. And the Uber is popped super late, down 3 players from the side of Bikini Bottom Crips. And at this point, it looks like the point is going to go back into the favor of Welcome Down to Teach 'em. Now we're waiting for the response from this all happening. My HUD is back, thankfully, so I can see that we're on an even Uber situation. But Eggs does get picked off again. Again, very aggressive. Really double-sided sword, I guess, of that. Waiting for the teams to come down and something happening. Chad does raise a good point. These guys are the Crips stacking Red team. Just drinking a little sip of water, getting back into what's going on here. This is still the forward hold on the side of Welcome Down and Teach 'em. Kind of waiting for anything else to come off. But it looks like the Uber does come through on Headroom. It's going to be a solo Uber. No Uber force coming out from TNT yet. As he didn't have, no, he had 95% Uber. I thought it was even. With that, it looks like there's going to be tons of kills happening. TNT, Geet, Homothug, and now Don Fettuccini leaving just the soldiers remaining, and they have both backed into their spawn. And so this is going to be a now reversal situation. I mean, it's just another complete mid-swap with Uber, but now the difference is Dadaru still has 30% Uber advantage and now has an extra minute of clock time ticking down. So I'd like to see how Welcome Down Teach 'em can respond to this, but I don't know if they can at this point. The Uber is just such a strong factor, and Dadaru has it already. They're still going to be walking in, taking some space. Eggs might get caught out, or Puckle, but it looks like both of them just run in front of the medic and live. So with this, we're going to be watching as the team pushes through the house, getting through spam from Don Fettuccini. But with this, it looks like they're just winning their grass back. It's not, they're not getting any point time yet. Don Fettuccini does trade out with Puckle, but we're watching as the Uber comes out for both sides. Looks like the Uber advantage did not last, and lots of more balling happening on the side of the Welcome Down and Teach 'em. So this might be an actual return to Scribe moment. We don't know, because we're going to be sitting here watching as they try to make it back. I guess I'm really struggling for words here. There's so much going on. I think I've been talking straight for 20 minutes on Team Fortress 2. It's hard. It's not easy. With that, we're going to be watching as Evil Ass Bikini Bottom Crips tries to take back their house space. Maybe we'll take back Ramp Room. And TNT is going to be holding their maybe 20% Uber advantage. Let's see what happens here. I'm interested because I'd really like to see a 5th round if possible. Or a 4-4 matchup, I should say. It's 2-3 right now. But looks like there's spam being traded out at the moment. Nobody really committing one way or another. Headroom does get the Uber popped on him again. It is solo Uber. TNT does get forced later. And Homothug does go down during this Uber, which is not as good. Happy Sako does trade with Headroom, but we're still waiting for point transferal to happen. Eggs does go down after trading with Scarlet Mew. Puckle picks up Don Fettuccini. Fight's happening on point, but this is a capture, and this might be the GG from. This is the GG for Evil Ass Bikini Bottom Crips. As now we're going to be now, I believe, a map pick. The way this is structured, from my understanding at least, is that the map is going to be Bagel for round 1. That's no matter what happens. And for map 2, it is whoever wins, I believe, gets to choose their map. I'm not sure if it was decided on beforehand or not. Okay, so my production is reading back to me some of the rules set on how this is supposed to work, and neither of us know the answer. But yes, from my understanding, there's another map. But if MX Headroom is saying question mark, is there another map? That probably means there's not another map. Maybe my production just lied to me. I never considered that. With this though, let's see if we can pull up some logs. Let's see if we can get some logs action going on here. Because I don't believe that there's another map. I might just be wrong. Teams must play 2 matches? Oh no. Okay, so maybe there is another map and the teams just aren't catching up. With that though, I'm looking at the logs right now, and I'm gonna say it. I thought eggs was okay. I don't want to say this for my self-defense, you know, because early on in this game, I said, "Wow, eggs is really dying a lot," and he really probably shouldn't be flanking as much as he is. And you know, I transferred that a little bit through the match. I said, okay, maybe eggs. You know, he's making some good plays. I'm looking at this now. Eggs stomped. Eggs went 57 and 35 with 376 DPM, top DPM of the server. That's crazy. That's from a scout on Bagel. That's pretty, especially because Eggs wasn't in the Ubers. That's really impressive. With this though, it looks as if Spaghettis and Eggs, the flank from the Big Evil ass Bikini Bottom Crips, really did do a ton of damage here. Happy's Taco following 3rd. And from this kind of averages out underneath. With this, okay, there's the logs on screen. I'm glad that we got that up. Because otherwise I was just speaking numbers into my microphone and confusing my viewers, you know? But with this, I'm seeing a lot of, Eggs top DPM, bottom healing on his team. That's just an eggs round, I guess. With this though, I think we're going into the next match as well. I'm not entirely sure on when that will be. Headroom says there's only going to be 1 map. Next round there will be a map pick, but still only 1. Okay. So we're still watching BO1's resin. So we're good to go. Okay, that's our misunderstanding. Thank you for clearing that up, players of the game. Yeah, okay, we're good to go. I'm tracking. With that, I'd like to say while we're waiting here, we have ads coming up in a little bit, but I'd like to say that if you're enjoying the stream right now or enjoying anything that Fireside puts out, feel free to give us a follow. You know, if you have a Prime subscription, drop us a Prime. And you know, we're really just like a volunteer organization trying to put everything together. You know, Resin, I hear rumors of another LAN. And I don't know for sure one way or another if that's true or not. But, you know, I'm not in charge of, I'm not Mr. Fireside anymore. I used to be Mr. Fireside. So I don't know about any upcoming events that Fireside may or may not be putting out. With this though, we are going to be waiting for our next match. I might take it to a break just so I can drink some water. Oh, yeah, true. Shout out to someone who listened to my message, Fart Ripple. You're appreciated. You know, you're loved in this chat. With this though, I am going to be going to a quick break. I don't know exactly when the next match will start, but hopefully it's soon. And we're going to be back in just a little bit.